So you might be interested, and you still might have some nagging questions that I haven't yet addressed, such as, well, I'm interested, but like I don't know, like, you know, how many black people or how black people are viewed abroad. Are they viewed negatively? Are there like a lot of stereotypes, you know, associated with them and stuff like that? So things like, will I get stared at if I went somewhere as like Japan, China, a different country? And then third of all, how can I afford it? Like, are there scholarships, grants, or, you know, any other, you know, fairly cheap and non-expensive ways to finance it? So first of all, I would have to say that to address the problem, or address the question of how black people are viewed abroad, well, we have a black president that's loved around the world, so I would obviously say, you know, I don't think there's, you know, a negative image. Obviously, they're going to be curious, and obviously, they're going to wonder, you know, if you have glasses or something that makes you look like Little John, or, you know, or something like that, or like, do you play sports? Like, do you play basketball? I did get the question, can you rap? And then the funny thing about it was that she asked me who my favorite artist was, and she said JG, and I think she was talking about Jay-Z or something like that, but I was like, well, I told her, I was like, I think it's Jay-Z, and I guess he's alright. I like the other artists more than him, but I don't know, just stuff like that was kind of interesting to get. So I guess, I mean, they're going to be curious, and then, let's see. But the things that, you know, can make, you know, allow you to have a great experience abroad is just to respect their culture and the language, obviously. Try to meet as many people as possible, you know, talk to them. There's so many easy conversation starters. I used a lot of times, well, what's your favorite, you know, singer? Or do you like jazz or something like that? And some people would be like, oh, well, I like Ray Charles or something like that. Just like stuff like that that you might not be like, oh, well, have you seen Ray? They're like, oh, yeah, I loved Ray. You know, Jamie Foxx, he was awesome, or something like that. Like, it's, you know, it's so easy to connect just off questions like that. So they can be easy conversation points. And this was from one of my birthdays. We went to Hard Rock. It's so hot in Japan over the summer, so I got pretty tan. And then here's my friend Brad, who also stayed abroad. So back to how can you afford it? Well, I got the Gilman scholarship when I went abroad, and it helps out financing quite a bit. So. Aside from that, there's also the Boren National Security Scholarship, which, you know, if you concentrate on, I believe, a foreign language that's critical to U.S. interests, like, say, Korean, Arabic, Chinese, I mean, there's other ones as well. I'm trying to think. Those are the only ones I can think of at the moment, but like those, I mean, you can say, and I believe those are available to undergrads as well as graduate students. So if you did think about maybe going abroad, I mean, just in the first semester, you could have it fully paid for just through something like that. And then another website that's also helpful is fastweb.com. They've got a lot of, you know, scholarships and resources that you can use when you think about going abroad, or if you're just kind of just testing the waters and you're still kind of curious about, you haven't decided to, you know, jump into it, but you're still kind of curious, well, I might want to, but how can I? These are some resources to definitely look into. And then there's also another website, goabroad.com, for scholarships. And then there's you know, plenty of other sources. If you go to, like, say, a study abroad office or something like that, and, you know, there's plenty of you know, need-based and also merit-based scholarships that are available too. So, and then this is we did karaoke one time for a friend's birthday. I guess one of the other exchange students' birthday, and so you know, I felt like taking kind of a silly picture. So I thought, you know, this is a perfect way to end on. So I guess, you know, feel free to take the plunge, and if you have any questions, you know, go ahead and ask.
I guess one question I have is about just college life in general. Did you find it like radically different, where you had to, you know, you find yourself trying to adapt to it throughout a big portion of your time there, or was it, you know, pretty easy to get into the routine?
I guess at first it felt kind of strange. Like it was just kind of, you know, just that learning curve, I guess. And then eventually things just kind of, you know, slipped into it. I found, I guess it would depend on the class. Like some classes over there I found harder than here, and then some classes I found easier. Just like some classes, like the economics classes that I took, you know, they might not have been, you know, they might have been a little bit easier in general than some of the classes here, but given the fact that I didn't know a lot of the vocabulary and stuff like that, it would be harder for me. One of the things I thought that was helpful was just the coursework that I had taken here. I took, you know, 2 of my major classes there, you know, and had them apply back, and I could just continue straight on to the classes that I need to, you know, finish my degree. But I felt like I got a good background, and so like the classes that I took here and just like the overall lifestyle and stuff like that wasn't so radically different. Like I felt like here was a good prep for there, and then when I came back, it might take a little adjustment, but I don't know.
I guess far as like going over there and then coming back, was it hard to come back to the U.S. and adjust, and you know, just the thought like I'm not in Japan anymore, and so.
I guess yeah. Like at first when I came back, like the first week of classes, I was just waiting for one of my teachers just to bust out in Japanese, you know, just start speaking, because I was so used to it. I got so used to it, and then you know I had to think, okay, like like first of all, that's absurd. That's an absurd thought. Like why would you expect him to speak Japanese? So yeah, you've been in Japan for 8 months and you got used to it, but you know you're back in the U.S., so you just gotta get used to them, you know, speaking English too again. So that was like one of the things. Like, and I guess that was something that I kind of thought about for like the first couple weeks when I came back. But then, let's see, I guess driving, I had to kind of get used to driving again because I hadn't been driving at all when I was there. I just took like the train and public transportation and stuff. So yeah, I guess other than that, that's pretty much it. So, all right, thanks guys, and thanks for listening to me go ahead and talk. I don't know. Oh, and by the way, all these pictures that I used are not necessarily mine. I did get some on the internet, you know, through Google, Yahoo, and other sources. So, you know, I just wanted to go ahead and give due to their prospective owners. I just wanted to go ahead, you know, give, at least acknowledge, you know, who owns the pictures and stuff like that. They're just used for education purposes.